Tonight, and testing within the women's game is likely to kill the league. That's the warning from Scotland's most successful team, Glasgow City. And after, with the games and just kicking underway in a couple of days in terms of their new campaign, they are hoping and warning that the women's game must not be left behind during this COVID crisis.
Yes.
Back in training and eyeing more domestic dominance. For the players of Glasgow City, a welcome return to some normality at least ahead of the new season.
This is going to be, one of the most competitive years ever in our game. We've got a number of really strong teams, a number of teams that have invested very heavily in their player base. So I'm really looking forward to the season ahead. I think it could definitely be one of the best yet.
With the effects of the coronavirus being felt across the world of football, there's a worry the women's game could be left behind.
With what's happened more recently, it's obviously been difficult for funding and things like that, and of course the main thing is we want to make sure that we can keep getting players playing and getting them introduced into the game, and for us it's for us to be role models as well and try and promote it as much as possible. But of course the financial burdens have really hit hard this year, and of course we're wanting to try and correct that, but it's been very difficult.
Funding and testing is a big concern regarding coronavirus in Scottish football. Premiership clubs in the men's game are screened twice a week. Glasgow City had to be tested in the Champions League last season, but if it were to be introduced in the women's game in Scotland, a stark warning from the club.
That will be a huge challenge for all clubs because, it is thousands upon thousands of pounds a week, and I think for everybody that's not really sustainable. It's very challenging to be sustainable even at the very top flight in Scotland. So I think if that comes in, I would be honest and say I think it would be impossible for our top league to continue.
This is a familiar sight for Glasgow City, lifting their 13th league title in a row. But with the old firm investing heavily in their women's teams, this season is set to be tougher than ever for Scott Booth's side.
Sort of unique part about Glasgow City is, we don't have that sort of so-called parent club. We don't have the men's side of the game that can help and invest or help with facilities.
Another consequence of the global pandemic is City having to move grounds. Petershill Park closed, so League One side Clyde's Broadwood Stadium their new home this season. And Glasgow City kick off their league campaign away to Celtic on Sunday. Finally,